A lot of people want to know why I've stopped making YouTube videos. And for the longest time, I didn't want to tell anyone. I found it difficult to talk about what was hurting me. And, with my channel being such an inspiration to everyone and showing everyone how capable I was, I didn't feel very capable. I didn't feel like showing my weakness to the world, and so I stopped. But I missed it. I missed interacting with people. I missed having fun videos to share with everyone. I missed editing, and I missed you. But if I'm gonna start up again, then I felt like I needed to share why I stopped. I was born without arms, and I was okay with that. I learned how to use my feet, I adapted to my surroundings, I became the expert in not having arms. But that wasn't the full story. My right leg is also shorter than the left, which made it difficult in the beginning, but again, I adapted. My femur bone is curved, and it was called proximal femoral focal deficiency, which is a fancy way of saying fucked up. Can I say that on YouTube? It was just deformed. It wasn't made right. But I used that to my advantage. Thank God my mom refused to let the doctors cut off my foot so to make it easier for them to make a prosthetic. Because my right leg was my dominant one and I used it for everything. And I used the shortage to my advantage. It made it easier to eat and comb my hair and get dressed in the morning. But the problems started when I was 18. The doctors told me that I was going to need a hip replacement. And I prepared for that. At that time, needing a hip replacement meant that I was going to have a new one every 10 years. And at 18, I didn't want to have another one at 28 or 38 or so on. So I waited. I waited as long as I possibly could until I couldn't bear it anymore. And even then, I had a hard time finding a doctor who was willing to actually do the surgery. All the doctors took one look at me and they saw that because I didn't have arms, it was going to be difficult to do a hip replacement and use my leg to do everything afterwards. But finally I did find the right doctor, and I'm glad that I did, because he agreed to do the surgery and he assured me that things would be fine afterwards. But I still had my worries. I mean, major surgery like that, there are a lot of things that could go wrong. So I waited. And I waited. I waited to the point where I couldn't do anything anymore. It was really hard to get dressed in the morning. It was hard to comb my hair. It was hard to have a good outlook on life. It was hard to be happy. I was afraid that having a hip replacement would take away my mobility, my independence, everything that I worked so hard for in the past 30 years, everything that I had to fight for. I didn't want to be disabled, as funny as that sounds. But when it got to the point where I just didn't want to get up in the morning, I didn't want to get dressed, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to make YouTube videos anymore. I couldn't show weakness because there were so many people that were depending on me to be happy and to have a good outlook on life and to be that inspiration for them. I didn't want to do it anymore. And I was angry. I was angry at God, not because he made me without arms or one leg shorter than the other, because I accepted that and I dealt with it amazingly. I was angry at him for making me need a hip replacement. There are other women out there who were also born without arms and their legs are perfectly fine and they don't have hip issues and they live full happy lives, and I felt like I was the only one. I felt alone. There are hundreds of people every year. There are plenty of people on this earth that have proximal femoral focal deficiency. They were born with arms. And there are, I don't know, hundreds of people who don't have arms, who have full functions of their legs. And I just felt like I was the only one that had to go through this. And even with technology today, with Facebook and Instagram and all this social media and the internet able to provide us with the information that we needed, there was nothing out there for me to Google. There was no inspiration for me that said, you're gonna be okay. So I waited as long as I possibly could until I couldn't anymore. And at that point, I was disabled. I couldn't comb my hair, but I tried to adapt to that by putting suction cups on my hairbrush. And it was embarrassing to not be able to do that anymore. I adapted my life to help shower when I was able to do it so much better before. Getting dressed was a struggle, and again, I adapted to the pain. I adapted to the discomfort. I was in so much pain, but I hid it. I hid it from everyone around me, and I got good at it too. I was afraid. I was afraid to have surgery. I was afraid to be immobilized. I was afraid to be disabled. I was afraid that there was no one else out there like me. And then I realized that there's a possibility that maybe, if there isn't today, there might be tomorrow. A young person who was born without arms or possibly lost their arms, who overused their hips and needed a hip replacement. And to be able to look for someone else who went through the same thing and not be able to find it, I did not want to deny that person my story. So, after I graduated, after years of not being able to do so many things, I scheduled my surgery, and I want to share my story. I want to share with you the experiences that I had, and I want to show you that I'm happier. I didn't realize how much pain I was in until after I had surgery, and I woke up and I was pain-free. I had no pain whatsoever. And I almost expected that because I was laying in bed and I'd been asleep for almost 2 hours, or that they had me on some really good medications. But even after that, even after being weaned off the medicine, after spending so much time in the hospital and learning how to walk again, I have no pain. My leg does not hurt anymore. And I put myself in that depressive state because I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to get through it. I did not want to live my life and depend on so many other people to help me. My mother did an amazing job making sure that I was as independent as possible, and to have that all ripped away just seemed too much to bear. But now that I am better, now that I am pain-free, life seems better. I want to wake up in the morning, and I want to get dressed, and I want to take on the day. And I needed you guys to know that I took a break for myself, for my mental stability. And being able to come here and to share that with you, and to say that I was struggling and I got through it. And having surgery seems like a really small thing, but it was such a huge thing at the time. I want to share my story with the world. I want to share it with you. And I want you to know that you are not alone. No matter your situation, no matter how painful it can be, there's always someone there to talk to. And you can get through it no matter what it is. And so for the next couple of weeks, I want to share with you my vlogs that I did while I was in the hospital. I want to share with you those stories of what it was like and what I went through and how I got through it, because I think it's important. It's important to share, and one day I hope that these stories will help someone else who might be in my situation. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I had the surgery. I'm glad I didn't give up. And I'm glad that I had friends and family that supported me throughout the whole thing, and continue to support me and help me through this hard time. Even now, after 4 months of recovery, I still have a hard time bending past 90 degrees. I can't feed myself with my foot anymore. I can't comb my hair with my foot the way I used to. I stopped wearing makeup because I can't reach my face. It's going to be a long journey, and it's going to be hard, but as amazing and stubborn-headed and independent as I want to be, I've learned how to adapt to my situation. And even though it's hard right now, I'll figure it out. So, I'm sorry if this video was too emotional or not as funny as my normal ones, but I want you to join me for my journey and experience what I experienced. And even though it was hard and frustrating and lots of tears, there's joy at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna go now, and I will see you next week. I don't expect you to like this video because it was so hard, but leave me a comment. I want to know what your thoughts are, and send me some love. And if you haven't subscribed yet, or if you're new, they're not all like this. All my videos are not as heartfelt and emotional as this one will be, but if you stick around, then you will be able to see a lot of amazing things, because I've got so much more to share.